You know that feeling, right? That heavy weight of worry that just kind of follows you around all day and, yeah, definitely keeps you up at night. But what if I told you there was a way to trade that weight for something, well, for something a lot lighter? In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really powerful concept for finding peace. It's called the divine exchange. Man, that quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? That feeling of being totally weary, just completely burdened by life. It feels like it was written for, well, for all of us at some point. It's the perfect place to start because it just acknowledges how real that struggle is. All right, so before we can even begin to talk about a solution, we really have to get a handle on the problem itself. What exactly is this weight of worry? And more importantly, what is it actually doing to us? So, our source material defines worry as more than just a fleeting thought. It's a persistent state. Think about that. It's a state of being that actively drains your energy, distracts you from what matters, and just plain exhausts your heart. And here's the kicker. It distorts your perspective. It's like putting your problems under a giant magnifying glass. I love this way of putting it. Worry is like constant low-level static in your brain. You know that sound? That background hiss of fear? And if you let it play long enough, it just drowns out everything else. Your confidence, your clarity, your ability to just move forward. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, this is where we get to the absolute core idea of this whole explainer, the divine exchange. And let me be clear, this isn't about just passively hoping for the best. It's a proactive, intentional choice. At its heart, the concept is actually beautifully simple. It's an active trade. You intentionally take the burdens you're carrying, all the anxieties, the fears, those overwhelming problems, and you exchange them. You trade them in for a kind of supernatural peace that just guards your heart and mind. So how does this actually work? Let's break it down. It really happens in three key stages. First, you have to bring your burdens forward. You actually have to name them. Second, and let's be honest, this is the hardest part for most of us, you consciously surrender control. You let go of your grip. And third, you open yourself up to receive a peace that has nothing to do with your circumstances. So this brings us to a really crucial comparison. I mean, what's the actual real-world difference between a life that's run by worry versus one that's grounded in this practice? Let's put them side by side and look at the real outcomes. And the contrast here is just, it's night and day. Worry is this downward spiral. It drains you, it makes problems bigger, and it leads to panic. But this practice of exchange, it does the exact opposite. It releases the burden, it brings back clarity, and over time, it builds this incredible resilience in you. You know, this right here is such a critical point. The exchange isn't some magic trick to make your problems vanish. Come on, life is always going to have challenges. True peace, the kind we're talking about here, is about finding a powerful presence, a steady calm, right in the middle of the storm. It's an anchor. Okay, so I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds like a nice theory, but is it actually practical? Well, it turns out this isn't a new idea at all. Let's take a look at how this concept has been put into practice, because it has some seriously deep historical roots. Yeah, this idea of trading your burdens for peace, it is definitely not some modern self-help trend. It's a recurring pattern, a principle you see demonstrated again and again and again by people who face circumstances that were truly overwhelming. I mean, just look at these examples from the source material. You've got Hezekiah, who literally laid threatening letters down before God. You've got Hannah praying through this incredibly deep sorrow. Paul finding strength while he's in prison. And Job, well, Job faced loss that's almost unimaginable. In every single case, the pattern was the same. They brought their burdens and they found a strength that wasn't their own. And here's the best part. What all this proves is that this practice is for everybody. It's not about finding the perfect, most eloquent words. The power isn't in how you say it. It's in the surrender. It's in the sincerity of your heart. A simple, honest prayer is what really works. So let's bring this all home. What does it actually look like to apply this to our lives? Because this is way more than just a one-time fix. It's about building a whole new transformative lifestyle. When this exchange becomes a regular thing for you, the results are, well, they're profound. You start trading panic for peace. That feeling of confusion gets replaced with a new sense of clarity. And a life that was once driven by fear starts to get transformed into one that's really characterized by faith. You know what's great is that making this ancient practice a daily habit is actually easier now than ever before. The source material even points out that we can use digital resources. Things like Bible Gateway let you pull up scripture on your phone, so you can connect with these ideas literally anywhere, anytime. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought, a question for you to take with you. Looking at your own life right now, what is just one worry, one burden that you could choose to exchange for peace today?